even have their Lucio specialist, Funny Astro, who they keep bringing in for these control maps where Lucio can be incredibly effective. But I imagine here, Emil will decide to go up into the air with the Mercy. But of course, with this sort of composition where there's more tanks, the Aura is far more valuable, and you can control the pace of engagement and really allow Fusions to try and get one over on Tonic.
That was one of their strengths last year, or last season I should say, was the ability to pace out the game and just play it at their own speed. It's exactly what Kib liked to do, and with Mikey on the roster, you can imagine he's taken that on board as well. Mira's doing a good job in the air thus far. This Fire is going to be a menace to take down for British Hurricane, with Kib really being the only one that can take him out effectively, that is, when he does dip below the point where the point is. And Happy Cool doing a good job as well, but the problem is this hail of arrows and hail of rockets isn't good for them at the moment. Nice dislodging of the tank. Fusion's in a lot of trouble now, even discorded, and even though British Hurricane did take the point, they are losing members rather quickly.
KSP and Mira here, both playing incredibly mobile projectile DPS, so it's very hard for Fusions to get a cohesive shield cover here for his team. Funny Astro can't hide behind it from both sources of damage, and Happy Cool can't use his defense matrix in both directions.
No, he's going to get de-suited, and Mira's just going to pin him off against this wall. Mira almost at that rocket barrage as well. KSP claims the life of Happy Cool in the end. Even Bok trading off a kill. Okay, he does manage to take out Tonic, and they are still stalling the point out, Harry, and actually forcing Bazooka Puppiez away.
And let's talk about the ult charge that Fusions currently has, 26%. There's nothing this man can do. No one's really going in towards swinging range, but he's just forced to hold up the shield towards one of the two split DPS of Bazooka Puppiez to try and keep Funny Astro and Bucket in a good position. But Bazooka Puppiez, over the course of this fight, they've built up so many ultimates, and already the Valkyrie's coming out.
Yeah, Valkyrie does definitely signal the start of the fight. The Dragon Sight will split everybody off, and Mira just trying to go for these frontline tanks. Now, defense matrix is now down, and Happy Cool has his forced to use the self-destruct. Astro is going to use that stand barrier to keep everybody alive for the time being. Mira doing a good job, confined in a small space. That's exactly where Kib wanted, and he's actually going to find and claim the kill. Mete is still on the top, trying to duel Fusions, and Fusions finally getting his revenge here, and a bit of ult charge to boot also. He's able to build up that shatter after taking out Mete, and even finding the pin on Tri-Spear. Bazooka Puppiez unable to actually claim the point thus far.
Yeah, but because Hurricane were on the point that entire time at the bottom, well, they did have control there, and Bazooka Puppiez were so sporadic with their positioning, they never actually managed to capture a point, even though there was sort of a fight win in the works. And British Hurricane, despite having basically lost a fight, are now one fight away from taking Gardens.
Yeah, and they don't, Bazooka Puppiez do not have a Graviton Surge to mix this Dragon Surge with, so yet again it's being used as more of a zoning tool, area denial if you will. Mira's trying to find another key target, however Graviton Surge coming out from British Hurricane to net one kill. KSP is going to go down, but Mira is going to take 2-3 with him in fact. 2 players down for Bazooka Puppiez, however, Tonic is going extremely low as well. Mira's just being completely ignored in this case, and British Hurricane just focusing the rest of the members of Bazooka Puppiez, and it's working out wonders for them. Overtime was there, however, Bazooka Puppiez were able to win the fight out in the end.
And now Mira's in exactly the position he wants to be. We talk all the time about how much of a preferable position it is to be on the defending side as a pharmacy combo, and that's because you can always give that poke damage from the long-range rockets in before they reach the point, and they have to try and use healing cooldowns or delay time in order to make sure they're making a full-strength engagement.
Well, there comes the rally, and actually a triple support ultimate usage there for British Hurricane. Sound Barrier, Rally, and the Transcendence to send them in. Mira is going to hide himself in that bubble so he can't get instantly killed, but not today, says Happy Cool. Sacrifices his own mech and actually makes Mira commit suicide almost. KSP using that Dragon Strike once again is going to find both supports. Happy Cool is going to be alive still, although not for long as his mech does get deleted. Kib still on the point, building up a lot of charge, but once again he is kind of worse for wear against the mid-air superiority of Mira. Still controlling and making sure they contest for as much time as they possibly can, and even him just building up a Graviton Surge for the next fight. Next fight they win, 99% to 50.
One spending spree deserves another. British Hurricane simultaneously using 3 support ultimates there. Bazooka Puppiez answered with 4, both of their DPS ultimates and both of their support ultimates used. Look at Tri-Spear, he's on fire. He's 70% of the way towards his next Transcendence. He's going to be able to use that potentially to try and deal with Kib, who has the Graviton Surge in his pocket, but no particular target to use it on.
Big tanky targets, that's a lot of ult charge for a Zenyatta. Kib looking for a key target for the Graviton Surge, but Funny Astro already falling. They're going to claim the high ground, however, as Kib moves out and soaks a lot lot of that damage with his primary bubble. However, at the moment, you've got to say, Bazooka Puppiez with Mira in the air and Chaos P on this high ground, it's incredibly hard to actually dislodge them. And in fact, Mikey A is going to bite the dust first up. Kib can really find the protection that he needed. Shadow will end up going for the ground, and Mete will get caught in it. No defense matrix, no problem. And Transcendence will keep them alive for the time being. Funny Astro finds another support player in Insomniac, but Mira still alive in the mid-air. However, without that pharmacy to actually pocket him, he's going to be in big trouble. Tonic finds the kill onto Happy Cool, and Kib's trying to force the rest of the tanks off the point, but that's going to do it just there as well.
Funny Astro managing to take out Tonic, but Bazooka Puppiez are quickly striking back. They're still in control right here.
They are indeed, but Kib is going to come back big with some nice flanking kills with the help of Pocket jumping onto that soldier. Is there anything this man can't play? I don't think so. Overtime is there, and Bazooka Puppiez will end up claiming the gardens, Harry. This is such a stark contrast to what we thought was going to happen. 3-3 is so hard to dislodge. They just didn't change up, though. They needed to deal with Mira on that far.
Bazooka Puppiez were very much set in their ways, and something that I noticed towards the final fight is that Kib and Fusions appear to be on a different page. Fusions got a two-man Earth Shatter. He took down Mete, and he took down Tri-Spear. And he started swinging at Tri-Spear, but didn't quite have enough DPS to take it out, whereas Kib was just hitting away at Mete's mech. But by the time Tri-Spear got up, he had the Transcendence to save everyone from the Graviton that was laid down. If they just focused their fire on the Zenyatta, they would have got a clean wipe onto both Tonic and Met, who were caught in the Graviton surge. And that indecision on targeting really cost them Gardens.
Yeah, they used two tank ultimates as well to try and secure a couple of kills, and influential ones at that. We know Fusions is a fantastic Ryan player, fantastic Winston player in Season 1 as well. This guy dictated most of the paces of the fights for Hurricane, which obviously led to their Season 1 victory as well. KSP and Mira on the same heroes again. We are going to see that Farah and the Hanzo. This time around, Mikey A taking to the ground. Boots on the ground for them at least. Fusions is going to fall first. However, Insomniac getting taken out with that Storm Arrow. Very clean and quick headshot, and with Funny Astro resing Fusions, they are going to have a man advantage.
They called it Boots on the ground, but it's Boots back to spawn now as Fusions has a couple more targets in front of him, which are easy to swing into. Vizaya and the contesting Reinhardt as well, and this is where Fusions really can excel, when he's going in the real Rein versus Rein or mirror tank versus mirror tank battle, because he can do it on for Winston as well. But now that he's not too worried about having to deal with people who are all coming from different angles, he's a lot better at defending his team.
With a very early pick onto Kib, KSB is moving forward, so they can't actually get that res. Funny Astro was going fairly low, but from behind the wall he manages to find it. Double Dragons are going to come out, separate Fusions from the rest of his healers, and with a kill onto Mirror, that will almost signal him to have his Rocket Barrage available. Mikey A is going to be a massive problem for him, though. He's going to have to watch out and be very careful. And in fact, Mete chasing down the enemy Zaya. Abigail is going to have to be rather cautious in that 1v1. Transcendence popped very early by Tri-Spear, is actually going to resort in a Valkyrie being used fairly early as well from Funny Astro to keep everybody up. Remember that double the duration is that Valkyrie over that Transcendence.
Abigail stayed at the bottom there for so long, he could have made the commute up, but wanted to wait for Fusions to get there. And there comes the barrage straight down on them.
Man, how'd you let that happen? This is such a tightly confined space in University. You had to see Mirror, or hear him at least, with those jump jets go for the flank. A triple kill turning into a team kill for Bazooka Puppiez as they continue to hold the point.
Just surpassed percentage error of British Hurricane, 33-29. For British Hurricane, they saved a couple of ultimates up in their bank for a rainy day, and it may well be raining Graviton Surges soon if Happycool can hit a few of those elusive right clicks. They'll be able to follow it up with the Dragon Strike, and of course Funny Astro will be there to damage boost it, and that means it won't be able to be defended very effectively.
Such a versatile hero pool Mikey A does have. However, jumping onto this McCree is going to be very useful at just punching a lot of holes into people's bodies, especially when they are in that Graviton Surge, although getting 1v1 right now by Tri-Spear. I say 1v1, it was actually a Mirror that did a lot of that damage, Harry. Kib actually taking Mirror out of the air. This is exactly what they needed, eliminating two of those DPS threats. The Transcendence is going to be there to save them, but it was actually on the other side of the wall, so both Happy Cool and Kib are going to go down, and that's a big DPS loss now.
Denied line of sight, and now, guess who's back on the point? It's Tonic. He's got himself an Earth Shadow in the back pocket, should he require it, and of course Tri-Spear is there with the Transcendence as well. And now, British Hurricane are on the ropes. They are 15% away from losing the first map.
The superiority tanks right now do look like to be Tonic and Mete, and you've got to say this ex-disband roster, these senior tank players are really showing up in the game thus far. Another set of Dragons to force the team onto a different platform. Exactly where Kib is, and Mikey A going for the high noon, finds Tonic, and Mete are going to go down. It's going to be a nice flashbang and a roll straight into the corpse of Tri-Spear. They finally end up wiping Bazooka Puppiez rather quickly, also will net them a very quick cap, and that means their turn to build up percentage.
It was a quick wipe, and it cost 2 ultimates, the Deadeye and the Valkyrie, and now absolute perfection is demanded should they wish to claim Oasis. Bazooka Puppiez are 1 fight away from this, and Mikey A's already down. There may well be room for a resurrection here from Funny Astro. That's going to be up for 30 seconds, and this is Bazooka Puppiez' go time. Mirror is ready to come down again with the barrage. He got so much value out of it last time. Let's see if he can repeat.
He hasn't got anything to combo with it, however, Harry. Happy Cool taking a lot of damage in the front lines. They are winning the tank war to start us off with, and Mirror, you can see, trying to find an angle of attack. However, just pummeling the tanks at the moment is all he really needs to do. Happy Cool extremely low. Mirror couldn't quite finish him off as he needs to reload. Pocket ends up going down as well. Mirror finds the flank. He doesn't even heed the ult. Apparently, KSP's going to take out fusions for him. Graviton Surge is there, and it's going to lock 2 supports in close position, meaning Kib finds the kill on not 1 but 2 players. KSP is going to fall, and it's a 1-for-1 right now, Harry. Each member getting taken out simultaneously, it feels like, for Hurricane. A nice pin against the wall for Tonic. However, Kib is there to clutch it out in the last final seconds. They're able to retake the point.
They eventually made it work, but over the course of that fight, they were not gaining percentage, so they still got to defend for 2 more fights. Bazooka Puppiez managed to snatch it out from under them midway through. And now Met, over the course of that fight, has built himself that Graviton Surge. We know it to be a fight ender, but KSP and Mirror won't be able to combine with it. KSP threw out the Dragon Strike a little bit too frivolously there, and now he cannot use it in this final fight.
Did get a kill with it last time, and maybe that's what he was aiming for, and it does build up fairly quickly as well. You've got to remember, maybe an eco push here for Bazooka Puppiez, just making sure they can get that combo online, because 1 team fight win is going to win it out for them. However, look at the clock now, 95 to 99. It's high noon for Mikey A as he tries to spot out a couple of members. Tonic's going to come in, but finds Mirror in the end. Another big DPS threat now down. Kib, low HP, is going to be exiting the fight fairly quickly as well, and the point will go over to Bazooka Puppiez. It's not quite done just yet as Happy Cool jumps back on the point, but I'm not sure how long Kib's going to survive. Not against an almost fully charged Zaya, and Tonic just swinging his hammer like it's a Friday afternoon.
People swing hammers on Friday afternoons. Like that's when my dad does DIY. He gets home and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna knock through a wall right now. I think our kitchen could be slightly more open plan. But you know what didn't go to plan? British Hurricane's offense there.
Yeah, that was, again, them not switching up, and they switched up between rounds. Mikey A on top of that McCree to actually execute Mirror. Problem was, Mirror's got a lot of avenues of attack, and we've seen him twice go for rather risky barrages, but they both they worked out both of them this time, and that's not something you usually see, especially on University. So easy to spot the far route. This time around, nothing.
Yeah, nothing this time. We're going to have to see if British Hurricane really tries to vary up their style. We're going to have a quick break. They're going to have to go and talk to Shifty, their coach, and see what the lowdown is, but we'll see in a couple.
Welcome back, guys. This is British Hurricane versus Bazooka Puppiez. We're about to jump into game number 2. Oasis was a pretty one-sided affair. Bazooka Puppiez taking that one out underneath the feet of British Hurricane, or out underneath the wheels, I should say. They are Spitfires.
Underneath the landing gear.
Underneath the landing gear, sure, why not? And maybe you can't really call them upsets anymore, Harry. Maybe this is actually just British Hurricane needing to find their footing. Season 2 of Contenders this time around, every team has just stepped up their game.
Yeah, the entire level of play has gone up, but it feels like British Hurricane have stayed where they were, and it was good enough in Season 1, Jaws, but it's Season 2 now.
If you haven't noticed already.
It's not going to be good enough anymore, British Hurricane. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, just a little bit. And maybe that comes down to the shot calling. We talked about it a minute ago, and we said in that Graviton Surge, there were 2 people. One was Mete. Oh, no, in that Shatter, sorry.
Yeah,
there was 2 people that went down. Tri-Spear and Mete. And that's the target you want to focus, Tri-Spear, because that Transcendence is so good at actually stopping a lot of that damage coming through in the Graviton Surge. One was going for the other, and the other one was going for the mech. And if you just killed Tri-Spear, then maybe you would have been able to take the point because the Diva wouldn't have survived the Transcendence. Yeah,
and that may well have taken them over to the city centre where they could have potentially won out that map. But we are going to be heading into Hybrid, and it's going to be the choice of British Hurricane. We're going to Eichenwald. We're not going to their home British turf, so we're going over to Germany.
All right, and what kind of composition are we kind of thinking here? Because British Hurricane have got Kib and Mikey A, and they've also got Nesh now on the field. So triple DPS, it kind of screams to me. They're on the defense first, mind you, and with only one tank. Fusions has been bullied a little bit here by the senior tank line that I coined it last time. And you've got to say, Meta and Tonic right now, they're working together so well, and you can see why Bazooka Puppiez wanted to pick this duo up. From that to disband, didn't do so well in season number 1, but they clearly saw a bright spark, and that's exactly what's happening with Bazooka Puppiez.
Yeah, Tonic is a Contenders veteran, and I feel like he's leading this team very well into their second week. They didn't have an impressive first week. Both of these guys lost out in the first week, and this was their chance to really redeem themselves and show where they're going to be placing themselves in Group A. And Bazooka Puppiez, they've come out with the bazooka loaded, shall we say.
The bazooka loaded. Everything's loaded at the moment. Their side pistol, their rifle on the back as well. I don't know how many guns.
Meanwhile, British Hurricane forgot their fuel.
Yeah, forgot the fuel. Just stalled out on the point for the moment. Fusion's doing something rather sneaky. Just painted a little bit of London Spitfire logo down there as well. A little bit of homage to their parent org.
Yeah, worth remembering that these guys are indeed an academy team. And Bazooka Puppiez, despite how good the branding is, they are orgless. They don't have a team house. They have coaching. But not as much organisation around them as British Hurricane. These guys are plucky underdogs. They're the kids in their homemade sports uniforms going up against the pro team.
Homemade sport. I hope that's what you didn't have as a kid. Oh,
I didn't play sports.
Oh. Wouldn't know that by looking at you, Harry. Let's be honest with ourselves. Kid finds 2 though. Tri-Spear and KSP are going to go down. So a very quick reset now for Bazooka Puppiez. That was a rocket and a half. That wasn't even damage boosted, mind you.
Yeah, it wasn't, and now British Hurricane, they seem to have found their footing. They've really got into the groove. They know that Kib is a monster on this Pharah. We saw it all across Season 1, and now he's going to be pretty happy to try and meet people out in the air. But let's talk about Bazooka Puppiez' new, we talk about the substitutions a lot, and Sit is now in for Bazooka Puppiez. I believe this is the first time we've seen him this season. He's going to be alongside KSP. Sit's a very renowned hit scan player, so we may see quite a few double hit scan compositions as you currently see.
Oh no, the bait. Nesh was trying to find Sit and find the headshot on him, but KSP was sneaking around from the side, did manage to click on his head. Now Mikey A harassing the backline, and Sit is actually going to take out Fusions as well. So KSP and Sit already working wonders on the front line of British Hurricane. And Mikey A does lob the pulse from out, goes a tiny bit wide as Tonic does manage to get the avoid. However, Mikey A is going to find a little bit of revenge, punishes Tonic for being so far out and away from his support. And now Kier, this is exactly where he likes to be and wants to be at the moment. I'm on above this house, he can rain down death from above, but Mikey A is in a lot of trouble on the point. Tri-Spear is going to claim his life, and now Kier is forced to actually contest.
Tri-Spear joining the ranks of the Fragiatas. Kier tries his best to make this work. He's got a barrage in the back pocket, but it's under huge pressure.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do anything with it though. Doesn't want to use it right now, as he's not going to be able to kill 6 members with it. Let's be real with ourselves, especially against the Diva.
You just got to believe, Jules. The power of belief may well carry you through. But I don't think Bazooka Puppiez would have believed in it. Rocket believes in putting down Sit, though. Sit, son.
Sit, son. Come on, that was low-hanging fruit, man.
It was. The low-hanging fruit. I'm a short boy.
You're not even short, though. Okay, whatever. Anyway, KSB now trying to get a little bit of revenge. They're going to push out this castle as the battering ram does open up the doors eventually. And who is operating those doors? I have no idea, but they're very kind, the attackers.
Oh, Kib looking to go for a little bit of a flank here. He's got his eyes on KSP, but needs to be careful. He's declared his presence with the downward rockets. And British Hurricane, they will be able to cement their defense here with a plethora of about 5 ultimates ready to go. Meta's getting incredibly aggressive, and he's going to be joined by Insomniac.
Oh, Insomniac going very close to death. Kib finds the sneaky rocket barrage. They didn't see that coming. It's actually going to force the Transcendence as well. Kib going extremely low, but his job has been completed. The assassination of Insomniac, sending him back to spawn. However, very short spawn walk for him, and he has got that Valkyrie.
And that entire time, British Hurricane were doing a pretty good job of making sure the cart wasn't moving too far forward. It's not past that first post gate corner. I forget what they've been called.
Turrets.
Turrets?
I think so.
Yeah.
You put turrets on top of the turrets, no?
I know it's called something in particular, but the word is not coming to me.
History, we'll get it later.
Yeah.
History lesson later.
However, something's about to come to Mikey A. He's got his eyes on KSP, deciding not to take it thus far, and the Valkyrie's been popped by Insomniac.
Yeah, now he knows there's one lone Widowmaker on behind, but you can see that that small orange beam. He's like, nah, I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to deal with that. KSP especially, he will rip your head clean off.
Oh, it's called a portcullis.
I'm glad you took the time to think about that. Meanwhile, actually is going on in front of our very eyes, Harry. There is a self-destruct, forcing the rest of the British Hurricane squad back underneath the roof of the castle. Mikey A taking a lot of damage. However, KSP going down here, and even Kib stepping up once again. This is I gotta say, Kib, especially in this game thus far, he really has been the shining star. At least he's filling the kill feed nonetheless, and filling the rest of Bazooka Puppiez with arrows.
We knew Kib to be a very accomplished projectile player. Back when we had Craggy on the roster, he was filling all the projectile roles, and of course he opened up this map on that Barra and survived for quite a long time, but now he's swapping over, moving over to a very high DPS Hanzo, and it's a double sniper coming out of British Hurricane, with Mikey A playing Shepherd to try and make people move into the sight lines that are provided to Kib and Nesh, making sure they're not staying in cover for long.
Very aggressive jump from Tonic. He is going to find himself on top of the roof of the castle. However, got to look at that payload. Yeah, exactly that. Bazooka Puppiez have been pushing this whole time. Hurricane have been dueling with them, and their solo tank is now going to go down, so they're going to have to rely on those triple DPS and the 2 supports to keep everything alive. And you can see they're still moving it. British Hurricane aren't actually contesting this.
Yeah, and back in the Tonic managed to trade his Primal Rage for Box Transcendence, so that's not going to be available for the coming fight. Yeah, and
Sit actually dueling on the cart now. That Transcendence is going to keep him alive, however. Fusions is back from the dead. KSP is going to get res, and now they've got this beautiful sight line to work with. The problem is for British Hurricane right now, they're just looking at KSP, and they're like, how do we even get to this man? We have to actually pay attention to the car. Fusions is deemed to be the person to go for him. He does find the kill, but he's now in no man's land. Self-destruct onto the point. Kib finds yet another kill onto Sit. He's making sure his presence is known in this game. He's really just hard carrying this point.
And that's a ritual suicide right there from so many members of Bazooka Puppiez. And Fusions, he's got to make these risky plays to get onto KSP. He's the only one who can do it. He's the only one who's got the mobility. And Crusade can't join him. If Crusade flies over to try and heal up Fusions, he's a sitting duck for KSP, Sit, and Tri-Spear, who are all in that back line. So what British Hurricane did there that was incredibly impressive is that they sacrificed Fusions. They used their Knight to take out the Rook that was KSP, and then the remaining chess pieces, which were all very low health Kings, had to move their way onto the payload and try and rotate in to use their small health balls to keep advantage there.
Trying to imagine chess with a HP system, it would be absolutely terrible.
Absolutely
You ruined a
bonkers.
classic game there, Legday. Kib trying to have a little duel with KSP. He doesn't quite find him, but Tonic is going to go down. Maybe you should give that over to Mirror. Mirror did say to me the other day that he is a better Winston than Tonic is. Oh, jokes, of course, but Tonic has got that Primal Rage to get back into the right rather readily. 15 seconds remaining, and Kib has that Dragon Strike. This triple DPS working out for the time being. These long sight lines are working wonders for them. Sit is going to find Bok, however, that quick res on the back line is going to be much needed right now, as they do end up using that Transcendence. Mikey A is going to find KSP as well, and in fact, Tonic using that Primal Rage very, very well, actually forcing Kib back. There come the Dragons. They're forced to now get on that point. Overtime is in session, Harry. Fusions have found the leap kill on to Sit, and this might be all said and done. They're going to bash everybody away. Triple DPS. They let the cart push all that far, but only in the last few moments, Kib was able to come in and save the day.
With this successful defense, I want to highlight the selfless play there of Fusions. He knew that he was going to have to leap away on his own to try and take out KSP and make sure that his attention was elsewhere, but he put down his shield beforehand because he wanted to cover the resurrection that was being done by Crusade, and by doing that, it meant that British Hurricane had a couple more members available. Bocket was back, could use the Transcendence to keep everyone alive while Tonic was slapping at them with the Primal Rage, and Tri-Spear, because the remainder of his team were out in no man's land, just brawling out or dueling with Fusions, he had to burn his own Transcendence to make sure he could get to the cart and just trigger overtime, which isn't the ideal scenario right there. Really, you want Tonic to be back there triggering that, or Mete.
Need the tanks being able to survive on the point. Either one of those tanks can survive a long time as well. A lot of armor, remember, and obviously a couple of defensive tools in the form of the bubble and the defense matrix. It is now Bazooka Puppiez' turn to go on the defense, and we have British Hurricane on the offense. Now, does it look like they are running that double hit scan? Sorry, not double hit scan, sorry, double DPS with Sit on the Trace and KSP on that on the hand zone. They're not actually running a Fire this time. A lot of teams have been favoring this Fire on this map. It's very easy to kind of hide around that clock tower, and if an incoming Fire is approaching, super easy to spot them out, and your DPS as well, fairly low to the ground, so they will be able to pick them out of thin air, especially Hanzo with his new buffed Storm Arrows and just the projectile speed in general.
Though you got to wonder, to what degree is this about Mete's hero pool? Mete is, of course, an off-tank specialist. He's a good diva. He's a good Zai. Probably like Roadhog as well. But we often see that off-tank move over to a Pharah in the triple DPS compositions. British Hurricane have 4 Pharah players in their roster with Nesh, Mikey A, Kib, and Happy Cool, of course. And on Team Giganti, we see RCK move over to it, but here Mete may all be more comfortable just playing that defensive role on the diva, making sure that Tri-Spear and Tonic are a little bit more safe.
Well, with a kind of a disappointing start to the season this week, British Hurricane were able to hold before the gates of the castle, and British Bazooka Puppiez only just getting that first point cap. Kib on the Pharah. The only person he really has to worry about right now is KSP. However, those Storm Arrows can wreak havoc in the air if he's not careful.
They can indeed. Nesh has already taken one of the vanilla arrows, and now Kib's going to be trying to get revenge from long range here, but there's already so much healing coming out of Insomniac, and Tonic's gone deep. He's losing so much of his life, desperately needs healing. Yeah,
he's going to receive a little bit of that as he does jump back to the rest of his support. So now Nesh, this is the person they brought on as this Widow specialist. He's almost exclusively been playing it, and you can see why in some of the highlight reels from last week. Even though they did go down, Nesh was definitely a standout performer on that Widowmaker. However, KSP is going to claim him for the time being. And another one, apparently. Bok is going to go down, as well as Sit finding another kill. However, with Resurrections being available, Tri-Spear is going to get up, so double heal is now still available for Bazooka Puppiez.
Oh, Bazooka Puppiez were baited in by their own aggression there. Now they've lost 2 people in unresable territory, and Bazooka Puppiez are going to take a while to get back from spawn as well. This British Hurricane's chance to move forward.
Yeah, Kib now moving forward as well with Fusions, using that massive chunky monkey body to soak up a little bit of damage for him and fire lots of shots inside that building. Mikey A taking a fair bit of damage too, but KSP, in fact, every single Hanzo player right now is just popping off. We are going to see a kill coming through from Sit onto Fusions, who was dueling out for such a long time. Kib has that rocket barrage available, and it's so risky coming up against Bazooka Puppiez to actually unleash it without a slightest bit of cover.
Yeah, we talk about Tracer in this meta and how her pulse bomb was nerfed from 400 to 300 damage, so it's not as effective at taking out those tanky targets. But one of the main advantages to Tracer that's always been there is her quick return to point time after she gets taken out of a fight, because of those blinks and because of her higher base movement speed. I think it's about 1.1 times regular. She can get back a lot quicker, and she managed to do that and move into the back line of Bazooka Puppiez. But you're going to need to do it again.
There we go. Nesh has got a kill, so we're going to open this one up. And with Tracer especially, if she's in your back line, it's pretty hard to get the resurrection, but Insomniac doesn't seem to think so at all. Rocket now in a lot of trouble. Crusade comes in the nick of time, however, just to make sure he stays alive. And Tonic is going to go down, so now no resurrection available for them. Only 1 tank player to protect their support, which is going to leave Kib in a pretty good position, let's be honest with ourselves. And with Mete almost getting D-Mech too, Rocket does have a Transcendence available, and that will be Bazooka Puppiez popping theirs fairly early. Rocket Barrage straight inside the building, and all that damage was enough to just tear through the healing of the Trans, meaning KSP is going to go down. Another risky play, however, as he's going to get eliminated too.
KSP had high hopes for the arrow to the knee, and Bocket is ready to try and stuff him. The Transcendence coming out, but needs to make his way over to Fusion's not quick enough.
Doesn't quite get to him in time, and in fact, maybe it was a little bit too risky. Transcendence only had a couple of seconds left. Bob getting chased down now. Sit finds yet another kill. Both DPS players from Bazooka Puppiez right now just showing up so big. 1 minute remaining. Nesh is going to claim his life, but like you said before, so quick he is to get back to the point.
And let's talk about Sit just a little bit more. He is over from America, I believe, so he is playing on that higher ping, which can be a product of going transatlantic with your DPS picks, and he seems to be doing fairly well with Tracer thus far. Mikey A is building up towards that pulse on those, so we may decide to make an explosive entrance of his own.
Kaching, he's got the pulse bomb, does stick it to the back of the wind. Oh, no, not quite. To the wall. Actually hit the wall, yeah. To the window, to the wall. Well, it definitely missed, that's for sure. KSP now unleashing the arrows towards that gate entrance to make sure no one can encroach onto the point. However, it didn't matter. Fusion was already in there, now leaping back to the rest of his team. They have to make a quick regroup. 20 seconds remain.
20 seconds remain, and not only that, very resilient defense is going to be prepared by Bazooka Puppiez here. Insomniac, the Valkyrie, Tri-Spear, the Transcendence. The only answer on the side of British Hurricane is Crusade to match it right there. Kib, it may well be all up to him to try and farm up towards this barrage. Vanilla play is all that they've got.
Crusade and Insomniac unleash both their support ults to keep everybody alive for the time being. However, Tri-Spear still has it in his back pocket. A Primal Rage as well to beat everybody away. And in fact, Box is going to go down. Big source of healing now lost for British Hurricane. They're still going to be able to duel on the points. However, but KSP is going to find the headshot on Mikey A. When does this guy calm down? He's had way too many entry drinks already. This guy's popping off. Someone that was touted as one of the best projectile players on their team. And just in the league right now, it looks like dueling out British Hurricane. Bazooka Puppiez are going to take match point in the series.
Bazooka Puppiez 2-0 over the Season 1 champions, the only academy team in Europe. All the backing, all the coaching, and sometimes vim, vigor, and just a can-do attitude, and all the skill in Overwatch will do you.
Bazooka Puppiez were very scrappy. We even called them the overtime warriors last season. Their ability to just scrap out to the very last moments and just win it out in the end was apparently all they needed for this match. 2-0. I'm not going to lie, today especially, I didn't think this was going to happen. Fusions had a bit of a rough week last time around, but the seniority of the tank line in Bazooka Puppiez was just way too much for him to handle. We're going to jump over to the desk, though. They're going to break down that 2-map score for Bazooka Puppiez even more.